All right, let's go to Capitol Hill, where yesterday Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, somewhat fresh off his long speech on the Senate floor that made him a bit of a hero in Blue America, got angry at his Democratic colleagues who were moving forward on a bill that had passed on a bipartisan basis out of the Senate Judiciary Committee connected to funding for policing. And Cory Booker had what is pretty uncommon for either party, an open, angry fight on the Senate floor, not with the other party, but with Democrats of his own party. Here's a bit of on fire Cory Booker.
What I am tired of is when the President of the United States of America violates the Constitution, trashes our norms and traditions. And what does the Democratic Party do? Comply? Allow him? Beg for scraps? No, I demand justice. I will fight for Jersey every day, every night. This is a call, folks. The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president. I see businesses taking late-night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to this president. And what are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying, oh, well, today, let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to the states he likes. That is complicity with an authoritarian leader who is trashing our Constitution. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. And when it comes to the safety of my state being denied these grants, that's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right.
Sean, we always try to be forward-looking here. If you were Chuck Schumer's comms director, take this question seriously, please. If you were Chuck Schumer's comms director, and would you go to him and advise him to do something about this, or this doesn't matter for the party?
I mean, I guess the question I have is, does it matter, right? So if you're Chuck Schumer, like that was theater. Cory, I mean, it's not like he actually, that was really begins with a D word to his colleagues. They were in the middle of a deal that was trying to get some funding, and he really pissed them off.
For police officers, by the way. For police officers.
Right. I mean, this was so I get. I mean, to answer your question, I don't know. I'd be worried that he would go out there and and say the leader's staff came to me and tried to shut me up. And so, like, if you're Schumer, Schumer, say what you will, he's a very smart political guy. And he's going to go, if we go to him, it's going to make it worse. He obviously didn't mind selling out his colleagues for this stunt, so he'll sell me out too. Yeah. But I think in the back of Schumer's mind, this is one where Schumer puts that shit and says, okay, I got you. I'll remember this one, Cory.
Dan, is a series of questions. Is that moment good for Cory Booker going forward?
Cory Booker, 2028, being a serious player in a primary to start, very good.
Okay. Is it good for the Democratic Party that he had that fight?
Absolutely horrific. And ask Roy Cooper today in North Carolina
right
how that goes over in his state.
So is it good for anybody on the Democratic side except for Cory Booker?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I would actually say that, like, for the AOCs and the Mandami, like that wing probably got a little, that got them fired up. See, we were right. He's with us now. I mean, so I think depending on who you are in the party, maybe I'll let Dan answer that. But I would say that if you're a progressive, you just want an ally.
Well, so I'll break this up a little bit. First, I keep saying this. Fight is not a strategy, right? That's the problem with Booker. I'll give you three different people, right, who are talked about for 2028 and kind of this issue. You have Booker, who keeps giving angry speeches, right? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't offer anything. He just screams fight. So he's the hysteria caucus right now. Gavin Newsom fought on immigration. We can debate if that was the right place, but there was substance behind what he was fighting about, right? So that's a different type of fight. And then there's Josh Shapiro, who goes on Colbert the other night and literally says, my motto is get shit done, right? So he's like, I don't want to hear the noise. I just try to get stuff done for people in my state. To me, what was so illuminating about Booker's like just absurd rant was Trump is violating norms and traditions. For the last 10 years, the number one thing the electorate has wanted is change. Booker like seems offended at change. He's like, God, we got to go back to the way things used to be, the way the Senate used to be run, the way kind of nothing to a lot of people ever happened. And that's the insanity of, again, there's no strategy.
Yeah.
It's just his sensibilities are offended. Therefore, scream as loud and be as hysterical as possible. When Cortez Masto just barely got elected in Nevada, Trump won Nevada. We have huge problems with Latinos, huge problems on security and crime and safety, which is what the bill was about to some extent. And that's where he picks a fight.
Somebody clip that Dan soliloquy off for social media, please, and get it posted ASAP. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.